5 Unusual People in the World, Part 175. Hello you guys, I'm Keisha, and wish you all a new day full of joy. Nowadays, many diseases attack the human body. These people suffer from rare health problems, making them the strangest people in the world. They can't live a normal life like other people. They live a lonely life and are confined to an unbelievable body. Let's meet them through this video. Are you ready? Let's begin. Number 5. Damascene Kagabo. Damascene Kagabo, born in 1942, has a very strange appearance because of a tumor the size of a ball on his face. This is so sad and heartbreaking. He suffered a lot because of the tumor, but what's worse is that his wife has left him and society is keeping a distance from him. They even consider him a wizard. At first, it was just a pimple on his neck, which he says at first looked innocuous, but became painful, swollen, and enlarged after the honeymoon. At first, he had to take painkillers and then sought treatment at many different hospitals, but no one could find a cause of the disease, and they could not cure him either. Because of his strange appearance, Kagabo cannot find a job. All efforts to find a paid job for a living were ruined as employers rejected him due to his condition. He has lived a solitary life for decades. Kagabo repeatedly tried to get his wife's family to intervene and explain to his wife that his problem had nothing to do with witchcraft, but to no avail. He was abandoned by his own family, accused of being a witch. Everyone isolated him because of the disease. No one knew, helped, or even gave him water to drink. Is this girl pregnant? She looks very childish, only 9 years old. She is very fragile. She is not pregnant. So, what is the truth? Number 4. Dorisilla Jens. Dorisilla Jens, 9 years old, has an amazingly large belly. Many people think she is pregnant, but she is too small, and that can't happen. But her belly is huge. Just like any other child, she had dreams of what she would be when she grew up. Her dream was to become a doctor, until her life changed completely at a very young age. Dorisilla Jens's mother got pregnant with her when she was not ready for marriage. This forced her to move in with the lover who had promised to marry her. Time passed, and the marriage did not take place. After 6 years of living together, the lover abandoned them, went to a nearby country, and never returned. She had to raise her daughter alone with many difficulties, as she did not have a job. When the child was 9 years old, she started complaining of pain in different parts of her body and was taken to the hospital for examination. Doctors informed that Dorisilla had problems with her kidneys and she needed immediate treatment. They had to start taking medicine to save the child's life. It is very difficult to get money to buy medicine because it requires a lot of cash that she does not have. The child's condition was getting worse and worse, and she feared she could lose her at any time. AfriMax Charity has raised a fund to help her family. They need to raise money for treatment to save the child's life. I will put the link in the video description. This guy has a rare health problem. He couldn't live a normal life like others. Instead of spending time at school with friends at this age, he lives a lonely life, confined within 4 walls. Number 3. Mithun Chauhan. Mithun Chauhan was born in 2001 from India. Like most boys of the same age, Mithun wanted to go to school, hang out with friends, and go on a date with his girlfriend. But then, a rare genetic syndrome developed lumps all over the face and body, engulfing the nose, mouth, and eyes at the age of 5. His body was covered with swollen tumors, and he couldn't lead a normal life. The tumor spread throughout his body after the doctors prescribed the wrong medicine to treat the mole when he was 5 years old. His disease was discovered only after he was taken to see Dr. Aswini Dash. He was diagnosed with neurofibroma, a rare genetic disorder. About 33,000 people worldwide have been diagnosed with neurofibroma, and there is no cure for the disease. Mithun spends most of his time indoors because his swollen face scares people around, and they even call him Ghost Boy. He also couldn't go to school because the other kids all ran away when they saw him. Malin's neighbors believe that the boy is cursed by God. After an online crowdfunding campaign, villagers and strangers raised about $8,500 for a 6-month series of activities to help him remove the tumor. After undergoing surgery to shrink the growing tumors, he can now talk, smile, and see. This beautiful woman needs a wheelchair as she can't stand, but she can use her arms and hands, so she can learn to use a wheelchair. God bless her and her family. Number 2. Jacqueline. Jacqueline doesn't live a normal life like you and I do. She doesn't talk, sit, and stand. All she does is to crawl on the floor. People call her a snake because she has spent her life crawling and because of her crawling style. Despite all that life throws at Jacqueline, her mother hasn't given up on her. Jacqueline was born as normal as everyone else. Then, everything was normal. When the time to sit came, she never made it. Her back is too weak to bear the weight of her body. When she turned 2 years old, she began to crawl and showed no signs of standing up on her feet. By the age of 10, she still could not stand up. She was taken to the hospital, and the doctor said they didn't see any signs of disease. Since then, she has been lying on her stomach for the rest of her life. Jacqueline can't do a single activity. All she does is crawl on her stomach and needs all the care from the family. Jacqueline can manage to crawl on her stomach in entire communities. Most of the people in the village are used to Jacqueline. When it is late at night, some people in the village escort her home so that nothing bad would happen when she crawls home. What hurt Jacqueline's mother the most was the fact that most of the villagers called her Snake Man, Reptile, and other kinds of names. Number 1. Anastasia. Anastasia, born in 1986, is a person whose fingers and toes shock the world. She was born with unusual fingers and toes. There are only 3 fingers on each hand and 2 toes on one foot. She is also 90% visually impaired. Her life is very difficult and needs help. Support her through the link in the description. Anastasia was born with a disability. A few months after birth, her eyes began to close. Her mother took her to the hospital so that she could be treated. At the time, she was still a child, and the doctors told the mother there was no way they could operate on the child because it could cost her life. They were advised to return to surgery when she was older. A few years later, she was taken to the hospital for surgery. Doctors tried to save her right eye, but it didn't open fully. Throughout the years, she used only one eye to see. Since her parents had passed away, she lives in her parents' house alone and tries very hard to manage her life, which is not easy at all, with her fingers barely able to hold anything. She was almost blind, and a man came to take advantage of her, and she got pregnant. She gave birth to a 12-year-old boy this year, but he also has a disability. His hands can't hold anything. Years later, a man walks into her life, also leaves another child for her, and then walks away. The kids don't go to school because she can't afford to pay their tuition, and all they do is to stay at home watching all the kids go to school. Those are the unlucky people with strange diseases. They are so beautiful. I hope that world medicine will develop quickly to be able to help the unfortunate people regain their normal life. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to watch more interesting videos. And now, goodbye and see you again.